Well, welcome back to the channel. Today we got some IBC totes for our firewood. So that's a nice nice rig there.
It certainly is.
And if you're from the Pittsburgh area and you need tanks, this wasn't a bad deal. So
I don't think you could build one of those frames out of wood.
no,
For what they cost.
nope. And they carried anything from highway paint to some mineral oil, whatever. But we're going to make uses out of the cage and the bladder for firewood. So he's just getting her unstrapped here, and Eddie's going to unload it here, and now we can start making sense of this whole thing. Well, we're going to fire up the Eastonmade 2228 and just give you a little walk around tour here of the actual unit. Little Briggs & Stratton 23 horsepower runs the thing. And then you got two hydraulic pumps. Actually, it looks like there's a lot of hydraulics on this thing. So basically this thing runs very effortlessly. Got a humongous ram in this thing. Then we opted with the conveyor for it, which really is a game changer when you're loading up totes or trailers. They really thought this thing through when they built it. If you're looking for a good splitter that would do commercial grade, as far as firewood, look up Eastonmade. Talk to Andrew and the gang up there. They put a radiator on this thing so it keeps the oil cooled. They tell you to grease that slide plate every day. Got the log lift. If frickin' Jeep's watching this, he's no big fan of log lifts, but in our case, we're going to use the log lift in conjunction with our bucking table, and we'll get more into that in the future. But that's where you can set lengths of logs, buck them into length, and then they'll be able to just get a piece of wood and just effortlessly take it over to the log lift table and dump it on there, and just really can, if you had someone cutting it and someone splitting it, you can make a lot of firewood in a hurry. So we're going to cut some cherry, a little bit of maple, and we're going to fill up Hank's little trailer here. So, and we start playing around with the totes. We pulled a couple bladders out, and we'll start getting them cages prepped. And we're going to use the bladders actually for firewood storage too. We're going to do some experimenting with that. Then we'll have little greenhouses for firewood. We'll just let it fall in there loosely, set them on pellets, and I think that'll work out good. So with no further ado, let's split some firewood. is, a few minutes worth of splitting, and Hank don't want to put any more on this little trailer, but he got himself some fine cherry there, and he burns firewood, I burn firewood, Eddie burns, we all burn firewood, so this is working out just beautiful. Just set it underneath there and just level it out as you go. Splitter's doing a good job.
Doing a fine job.
Yep, and we'll bring you along with more stuff, ripping totes apart and splitting firewood. So well, it didn't take too long to cut them apart. So we're just making a nice big opening on the front to stack the wood in, and we're going to stack these tight, and then again we're going to cut them bladders and make each one of them will make us an extra tote. Yeah. We're going to loose stack that. We'll just let that come in off the conveyor and put them on a wooden pallet.
It should hold them.
They should hold them. Then over here is the one that we had stacked 2 weeks ago, and this is really the easiest way to do this. Is we got a bunch of this wrap from the Boise Cascade. You can see they ship LVLs to a certain place that they're producing house kits, and you get this stuff in 60-foot rolls. Then all I did is run some of that plastic, the shrink wrap around it about 6 times, and that seems like it's going to hold up pretty well. That gives a lot of airflow, and this is going to be a nice seasoned pile of wood here. We figured it's about 1/3 of a cord, which is a run, and most of these totes had highway paint in them, and there's a little bit left in the bottom, so we're going to get a 5-gallon container and just start getting as much as we can out of them, and then we're going to cut them at the bottom instead of at the top. That way all the bad stuff is gone, and then you end up with a relatively clean tote. So that's the way we were advised from CNC Tanks. But yeah, this is coming along, and we only got a couple more to do.
Yeah, more than 2.
Yeah, I said a couple more to do. And then this one here, there's a lot of white paint in there, so I think we're gonna put that in a container, and who knows, we'll use it for something.
I'll paint my truck.
You want to paint your truck?
Yeah, why not? I've painted 3 trucks in my lifetime with a paintbrush.
A nice white one.
A white truck.
And yeah, and these basically, some are screwed together and some are put together with these like almost a self-tapper type thing, but they're all Torx heads, 2 different sizes, and then you just take off these top rails, and then we didn't show it on video, but we have a nice little strap that goes in these little loops, and then Eddie just picks them up out of there with the skid steer, and we'll probably have ourselves a big container of valves too. So yeah, this is working out good. By the time we figured shipping and the cost of them, they were $20 each, and by the time you got them shipped, they work out to about basically, right around $30 a piece delivered, and there you go. I'll give C&C Tanks a plug here. We did not get these donated by any means, but I couldn't beat the deal. He delivered them right here. It didn't take us very long to get them off the truck, so we'll keep at it here. Our first test with the 6-way wedge. We just got done switching this out. Boy, my hat's off to Eastonmade as far as the wedge. That was so simple to switch.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. No tools. Just run the hydraulics so that the wedge is sitting at the lowest point. It automatically unlocks. And we just use Eddie's machine with the fork and a strap. Pick that up. This one you might be able to put in by hand, but I don't see why you'd want to.
No.
And that 7-way box wedge, let me tell you, it's an animal. So
It's a bit heavy.
let's see how this works. not too bad. Get you off the camera here, off the stand. And we're using just a bladder to see how it's going to actually hold up to wood, and it's not going to be too bad. We'll move that around a little bit, and we're just going to sell this as like weekend campfire wood, that you can just get a tote full like this for a lot less than stacking it. So we'll see how this all pans out here in the end. Here's the bucking table that we're playing with right now, and I have it set up so that 16 inches is right between the 4x4s in order to buck these up without having to run your chainsaw bar into the 4x4s. So basically I got little Donnie here, and I bought one of those little firewood markers. So you basically set it to the edge, you come down in, you mark it, then you jump to the next one, and this takes literally seconds. Also, I have one of them Mingos. Some people either like them or they don't, and Eddie's bringing another round over here, so we're going to go ahead and get to bucking these and keep splitting some firewood. That should work. Just about a full load there. A couple more pieces and we're there. Well, there you got it. It's going to be another 95-degree day.
And it feels like it is right
And
now.
what are we, about 10 o'clock? 10:30 in the morning, and it is hot. But yeah, there's a lot of advantages and disadvantages of the 7-way box wedge. The box wedge makes very consistent wood with the bigger rounds. These were borderline too big for the 6-way, but we wanted to see what it would do. But the smaller stuff at 6-way is perfect.
It does.
And we figured out pretty easily how to put that 7-way on with very little effort. Just a strap and go around the 2 outer wings, and it centers it. The gravity's perfect, and it don't rock back and forth. The 6-way has that little eye on it, and you can just put a strap through it and set it. But yeah, the totes are definitely the way to go. We were going to stack them, but we're going to let them go loose and just go that route. And you'll charge less for it, of course, but it won't be 1/3 of a cord. So if you like this sort of video, do me a favor, could you give it a thumbs up? And if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing.
Yes.
Go over and check out Time with the Eddie Horvath.
Always appreciate it.
And sorry about the background noise here. But every time we turn the camera on, a plane flies over. But so this was a little different video for you, and we'll be back into sawing on the next one. We'll catch you then. Alrighty, bye-bye.